His speech. Minister, please.
Excellencies, Honorable monks and nuns, dear friends, ladies and gentlemen, I'm delighted to join all of you this evening for the launch of the exhibition on the Nalanda Trail, Buddhism in India, China, and Southeast Asia. Nalanda was an ancient town in India, which existed during Buddha's time, and the site of one of the world's first great universities. The university in Nalanda played a pivotal role in the spread of Buddhism in India, China, and Southeast Asia. In its heyday, over 1,000 years ago, the university was considered an architectural masterpiece, with a sprawling campus dotted with parks and lakes, and dormitories for 10,000 students and 2,000 teachers. The ruins offer a glimpse of what the university used to be, and so much excavation work remains to be done. The influence of Nalanda can be seen all throughout East and Southeast Asia today. A key center for Buddhist studies, Nalanda attracted great monks from China, such as Faxian, Xuanzang, and Yijing. Through the overland and maritime Silk routes, thousands of sutras were brought back to China. Through Central and Southeast Asia, Buddhism spread from South Asia to China, Korea, and Japan. Some of the sutras were translated into Chinese in India. Most were translated in China itself. It was a stupendous intellectual effort because the work of translation involved not just the interpretation of words, but also deep concepts from one philosophical framework into another. Well-known Indian monks were invited to China to translate scriptures and to establish monasteries. One such monk was Kumara Jiva from Kashmir. His translation of the Lotus Sutra from Sanskrit to Chinese during the Tang Dynasty is the basis for the Mahayana Buddhism practiced widely in many parts of East and Southeast Asia today. And the chants we now hear had their origins in those early translations. Buddhist values and philosophy have since become an integral part of East and Southeast Asian civilization and culture. The government of India has decided to re-establish Nalanda University in Bihar. This idea was first mooted by President Abdul Kalam during the state visit to Singapore in early 2006. I remember calling on him, and our entire discussion was centered on Nalanda. Following his visit, Singapore hosted the Nalanda Symposium in November last year. And in July this year, the Nalanda Mentor Group, chaired by Nobel laureate Professor Amartya Sen, held its inaugural meeting in Singapore. I'm honored to be appointed a member of this group in individual capacity, together with experts from India, Japan, the US, the United Kingdom, and China. It was fascinating for me to be in the company of very wonderful people, deep experts in their field. Between one Chinese scholar and Indian scholar, they could communicate to each other in Chinese or in Hindi or in English or in Sanskrit. It was wonderful. Professor Sen's group is guiding the conceptualization and development of the university, which will be a center for learning and which will become an icon of the Asian Renaissance. Like the Nalanda of old, the reborn Nalanda should attract scholars from near and far. Last year, Prime Minister Manmohan Singh offered Nalanda to the leaders attending the East Asia Summit as a project to promote international understanding and cooperation. The support that it has received thus far has been heartwarming, reflecting the mood of the times. The Buddhist philosophy of man living in harmony with his fellow man and with nature meets a crying need of the 21st century. And we can feel some of the excitement this evening, an aura which we hope will spread all parts of Asia, including Myanmar, where many of our Buddhist brothers and sisters live, and where it is said, according to their tradition, that 8 strands of hair from the Buddha himself are interred deep in the Sri Dagon temple in Yangon. In Sanskrit, Nalanda means giver of knowledge. The Nalanda exhibition features a remarkable collection of Buddhist art, including an inscribed plaque from Nalanda which expressed the good bilateral relations between the kings of the Pala dynasty in eastern India and the Shilandra rulers in Southeast Asia. We know from history that many of the monks from China and Japan and Korea who went to Nalanda first spent months in Sumatra studying Sanskrit. Also not to be missed are rare sutras and paintings from the grottos of Tôn Quang. On behalf of Asian Civilisations Museum and the people of Singapore, I would like to extend my deep gratitude to the government of India and the government of Bihar for all the help that they have given to the museum, and in particular for granting special permission to allow the bone relics of Buddha from the Pibrahua stupa near Kapilavastu, where the Buddha grew up, to be exhibited here. These relics are by regulation not allowed out of India. It was only by special permission that dispensation was granted to us, for which we are profoundly grateful. And there are many others to be thanked, which Priscilla has thanked earlier, and so I should not have to mention them, except to say a special thank you to our Buddhist benefactors and to the many Buddhist organizations in Singapore who, when asked to sponsor a part of the exhibition, did so with joy and with complete willingness. They have been a great blessing to us. It's now my honor to declare the exhibition open. Thank you very much.